First and foremost, do your own research. Make up your own mind, come to your own conclusion. That being said, the information brought here after is all conjecture. By that I mean it has not happened yet, so it cannot be proven truthfully, factually, scientifically. That being said, let's move on to the main event. Alright, two that I want to focus on is the 2011 Tohoku earthquake, the Fukushima disaster. You can see here. If you rewind time a little bit, you can go back to 2004, which I believe is the biggest natural disaster in history that we know of. Okay? So that being said, let's move on. Probably shouldn't have done that. See if we can fix that. There we go. Silly me. Anyways, here we go. This is the 2004 Sumatra. Okay. Here we have from the USGS listed as December 26th of 2004 at basically 1 hour UTC. These are seismographs brought to you from isthisingon.org/Yellowstone/Daythoms.php. Okay, these are provided from the Utah University. So here we go. Excuse my incapabilities of zooming in and out, but here we go. December 25th, 2004, generate report. This is Yellowstone National Park. There we go, a little better. This is the Sumatra quake. A lot of big quakes, most big quakes, pretty much all big quakes will show up in seismographs. But the one that I want to focus on, and we will focus on for the majority of this story, because that's what it is right now, the story, is Solar Butte seismograph. Now, you can see here, there is the quake. Here's the start of the quake. Okay. But this is the beginning of the story. Patterns. Okay. Here we have a nice big red slice, slip, side column. There's another one, another, and another. And a small one there, very tiny. Okay. But if we were to draw it out, we would create a diagonal line. Okay. If you don't see it now, it'll become more evident here shortly. So, December 25th, 2004. Alright? UTC time was 1. Alright, let's go back and look at UTC time. 25th. Mountain Standard is what this is all based off of, okay? So we come down, here's the quake, we have 18 hours, and we have 15, 16, 17, 18, roughly, okay? So we have 18, 18. That would put us, here's 15, 1, 18, roughly. If I'm counting that correctly, okay? So 20 minutes it took for the shock wave to reach Yellowstone National Park. But let's go back. And this is where things start to get interesting. And we'll go to the first, 2003, from this website. Okay. Of September. Right? Date must be September 2nd, 2003. No images earlier than that. So, if you continue to watch this and you have the ability to track down seismographs from Soda Butte for before 2003, September 2nd, please make the video based off of what follows further and how I explain what's going on. So next day, just one, and then get to Soda Butte. Soda Butte has this pattern right here. Alright? September 8th, 2003. Let's go to December 8th. There it is again. Right? There it is. There. And remember, draw a line. Nice straight line. And you'll get there. Okay. Let's go jump to a year and 3 months basically. From the time the seismograph comes on until we get to Quake. Alright. It's not really visible too much there. You can kind of see it slightly. Let's go next day. There we go. Okay, it is there. And then we start to see it more again there. Okay, start building up again until we get to the day of this. Okay, and we can see them. Mind you, this time around, the 2004 Sumatra, it's not very prevalent as far as to the eyes and what shows up on seismographs. It's not until we reach the Fukushima event. Okay, this one has it listed as 311-546 UTC 2011. So let's go take a look at that. That's Soda Butte. What do we have? Very pronounced. Okay? Very pronounced. When the earthquake happens, here's UTC. Alright, what's the date? March 10th, 2011. Because we're dealing with mountain. It's behind this time. So we have to go back to the 10th to see the quake. Alright, and I'll show you that. We'll go next day. Okay, nothing. Pattern's still there. Alright, we can go in and we can look at that. See, it's still there. Goes for a little while longer, fades out, and disappears. Okay, but it's there. You can go check that date of this. Alright, but now that we have the seismograph capability from 2003 to 2011 and this pattern shows up more prevalent, we can go back and we can look and we can see when it happened. So let's just go to the 20th of December 2010, about 3 months, okay, beforehand. Soda Butte, there's nothing. Okay? You can go back previous days and there's nothing until you go back to the Sumatra, and when that finally fades out 2 or 3 months, however long it is later. I don't remember. So let's go to the 21st solstice. Generate this report. Okay. What do we have? We have a big quake, and the pattern fires up like clockwork. Follow your line. zoom in. If you want to zoom out first, maybe you can see it there. Let's zoom in. Sorry, maybe to make you sick. Okay. Let's go just a little bit more. Okay. See that? Slips up and down the vertical lines. Gives a pattern that is diagonal to our horizontal seismograph. Okay, like clockwork. Alright, so we have 1715, 16, well actually sorry, 1715, 1730, 132. So 1732 UTC time for this quake. Okay, so that one took what, 13 minutes for that shock wave to reach the seismographs in Yellowstone. Alright, so that was the quake. That started the pattern again, of which the pattern was present in 2004 Sumatra quake. Okay, which then led to, here's March 11th, 2011, the day after. Okay, let's go back to when that quake happened. The 9.0, 9.1, or 9. Yeah, 1 is what it was. Sorry. So here it is. Comes down, it repeats again, and here's the quake. 15, 30, 45. Okay. Alright. At 6 o'clock, and when was it? 5:45 there. Okay, 5:46 when that reached. Alright. So that took what? 13 minutes? Another 12 minutes for the shock wave from Fukushima to reach Yellowstone. Alright, you can go check these seismographs out yourself. Alright, do your own research again. So now what I know is this quake started a pattern, and so did seismographs that eventually followed with a 9.1 earthquake in Tohoku, Japan, Fukushima disaster region. Okay? So how is this relevant to now with lockdown, vaccines, and earthquakes? Oh my. Well, let's go take a look. Some of you might remember your last great 4th of July. Okay, 2019 Ridgecrest earthquake sequence, right? Well, what do we have here? July 4th. We have an earthquake. We have a pattern there. That's already been established before this quake. This quake is at, what are we looking at for time? 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and we need to add to 11:30, so we have 11:37 Mountain Standard Time. Okay, these lines are now half hour. So 17:30 would be right here. So 17:37. All right. There's that quake right there. Let me zoom in for you. Alright. Independence Day for the US, 2019, Sears Valley, California at 17:33 UTC. Showed up in Yellowstone, Soda Butte seismograph at 17:37. Okay, that's the ridge crest right there. But let's go back a day. Let's go to Soda Butte. There's no pattern. No pattern. Okay, per se. And then this quake happened. Okay, well that quake seems a lot more devastating than that Sears Valley one. Okay, that's because it was this quake, 6.2 in Canada, Bella Bella, Bea, however you want to say it. Okay, let's look at the date and time. Okay, oh my, old slow computers. Okay, so we have Independence Day at 4:30 UTC. Okay, but we have to go back 7 hours because it's Mountain Standard Time, right? So that's going to put us into the 3rd on our seismograph reporting. Get rid of these two. Okay, so that's why we go to the 3rd and we come over here and we run into this. Okay, so that quake there. Look at that. We have 5. Here we have 4. 4:30. 4:34. Okay. It took 4 minutes for that quake to reach the seismograph in Soda Butte and present its shockwave as a seismograph indicator, right? I'm sure we can all agree on that. So that tells me then, if we come forward, now it takes a little bit for some of these patterns that I want to show you from here on out to fully show themselves. But you want to go to, fuck it, let's just go to December. Excuse my language. It's hard not to be vocal about some of this. Let's see if Soviet's going to show it on this one. I'm just picking stuff at random. Okay, so we see little tiny ones here. Okay, little tiny. And then we see the little tiny ones next to it. Okay. And we come over here and we see little tiny ones. And then we see little tiny ones here too. Come all the way up. Okay. This is important. Pay attention to how close these two are and how close these two are. They still make their diagonal line. Okay. But let's do it this way. This might be easier to see it. Come in here, click on that, go into Seismo Calendar. Let's go down and we'll pick Soda Butte. Let's pick our date. Let's go 2019. Let's go to just when all this started up. We'll do it that way. Let's go to the generate calendar. Alright. Sometimes you can see it in minutes. So the Butte 627. Here is the Bella Bella Canada quake. Here you can see the pattern. Zoom in a little more, it's going to get fuzzy, but sometimes it helps to make it fuzzy to see the pattern. So here it is there. Okay. This is the Ridgecrest start of the storm. This is the Canada one. Okay. And then this is the following, the main earthquake in the Ridgecrest one, which is still ongoing, by the way. Just not as intense as it was. So here's our pattern. Okay. We can establish that. And if you can't see it, then I'm sorry. have somebody watch this and see if they can explain it to you or show them these and see if they can point it out to you or draw it out yourself, whatever. But anyways, so that pattern's there. Becomes harder to see for a little while, but it does remain. Okay, and we can do this. So let's start this over here. Size so big. And I don't do these videos here. Let's go to April 2020. Let's see what we can see there. Alright. Let's find a good one. I don't know if you can pick them up. If you do this research yourself, you'll be able to see it. Trying to see if I can find a good one to show you. Alright, let's do this. Okay. So remember I showed the ones with the two little lines separating. Okay? You count out minutes. 2 minutes apart. Okay? 2 minutes apart. Right? And then continue down 2 minutes apart. Come over here. And then the pattern repeats. Okay? I'm hoping you can pick this up by now. 2 minutes apart. Okay? Over here, 2 minutes apart. Alright? This one is what date? April 9th? Sweet. Alright, let's go back here. Let's go a little earlier. Let's go 3:20. April 9th at 3:20. Okay? Looks like we got a good run here that we can see. There's a run, there's our run, there's a start of another run, and over here. Okay? And then that one continues to finish it down there. Now look at it. We have 1, 2, 3, basically 4 minutes apart. And here it is again at the bottom, the pattern repeating. 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes apart. Okay. So before it was 4 minutes. Less than a month later, the pattern is back at 2 minutes. Right? Isn't this where we're at here? 1, 2. So now these are moving back and forth. They're breathing. Okay? Which is going to affect how far this gap is between these two. Okay? And you can count this gap out too and do that. Alright? So now what we have here at Soda Butte is 2 patterns going on in one side of the graph. Okay? Now to make it even more interesting, let's go to Soda Butte, or Mammoth Fault, excuse me. We now have a pattern at Mammoth Fault. Okay? This one is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. Alright? This one took a few months, 2 or 3 months, something like that, for it to finally show the pattern. So the Butte took a little while for it to show its double pattern. Okay, so now we have slip, 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 slip. Next our diagonal pattern. Alright, and it does repeat. Okay. Oops. Okay, here it is here. Let's just go to right now. Okay, today's date. Let's see if we can pick it up in today's date. Looking a little tough to pick up. Alright, so let's look at it because this is a time game. Alright. This is seeing patterns over time. There we go. Alright. 20. Let's just start at the new year. Alright, jig here. Okay. January 1st, 2020, year of hindsight. Okay, there's my pattern. And then we repeat going over here. Okay, and you can count out the time. I haven't kept up with if this pattern is breathing, moving closer and farther apart or not, but so do you. It definitely is. Okay, 1, 2, 2.5. Now, I think this is December 3rd there, 2.5. No, it was, 4. So it is moving. So what does this mean then? Okay. Well, so the butte has a double pattern as of now. Then the fault has a single pattern as of now. This happened 7/4 Independence Day, last true Independence Day, 2019. Okay. We've now passed that mark of 1 year. Right? So we have to go back and we have to remember what happened with Sumatra. It was a year and 3 months. But that was only because of the time that this was turned on. And the pattern was there. So we don't know how long before this pattern showed up. What Quake, Four Diamonds, the 9.1, which is only 3 months, what Quake caused Sumatra to happen. But now, we do know that, in my opinion, in this story, Bella Bella was the Quake that started off this pattern. Okay? So that brings us back to our little map here. Okay, and then zoom back out. So we have this one, and we have this one. Okay, and we're 7 years. Okay, we're 9 years now. So you have a 7 to 9 year window, roughly. Let me zoom out. Get my back fingers on the keys here. Go the right way. Not giving me the map. Where's my map? Oh no. Oh. Somebody speak up. Let's go ahead and interact with the map. Sorry about that. Let me get this fixed here. Hold on. Alright, so let me just show you how I got to that, because it can be kind of a pain in the butt to get to the map. So type in 10 biggest earthquakes, US history, go to the 20 biggest earthquakes, bring you here, go to the 20 largest earthquakes on the map, it'll bring you here, check your settings, comes over this, go to search earthquake catalog, go to custom, yada yada yada, custom. Let's just go back to, let's give them a good old date here. Hold on. 0001. Alright. Should be good. Let's search. Newest, largest. Okay, find 5, here we are back at where we were. Okay. Let's zoom in on me and you. Okay. So we determined earlier on Sumatra was here. Okay. We don't know when the pattern started. We know the quake was there. We look at the 9.1 quake in the Fukushima disaster. And if we look at the Bowen Islands, that quake happened in this region here. So we know a quake started the pattern here. The big quake happened here, or a mega quake. Alright, we'll just call it that for now. So now we know that Bella Bella is over in here, okay, Port Hardy region, okay, where land is splitting apart away from the continent. And following, not too long after, we had another big quake and a swarm continued down here up until this point, okay? So what we don't know is when and what started, okay? We do know when and what quake started the pattern and where it ended up. What we do know is what quake and quakes started the current pattern that we are in now. Okay? So you take this with your own grain of salt, do your own research, because I'm not really sure how else to explain this. Okay? Let's just go to current day right now. Anyway. There. I can kind of see it in there. It's been jarbled up a little bit, but it's still there. Okay. Let's go to the seismic calendar right in front of me. Should be making it so hard. Too bad it doesn't show all of them side by side. But anyways, the pattern's still there. Hopefully it disappears after all this garbage, but you know, the only thing that I can suggest is maybe a possible big quake. Hopefully that was it, and we had a lot of pressure release from here, but we've seen Alaska pick up lately here too, a little bit also. So, the Rocky Mountains have continuously got more quakes along here. Oklahoma has started to move up, and of course we have seen more quakes along this region. So if you look at the way the Earth is kind of designed, you know, and if you believe in continental drift, you know, that might explain some of these things and what's happening. So anyways, we are past that year mark. We're coming fast upon a year and 3 months of when the Sumatra timeline, as best as we know it for now. Fukushima was 3 months, as all that pattern ran between the time it started and the quake happened. Now mind you, the pattern does continue for a little while after, as it calmed down and dissipates. So the big question then becomes in is, alright, scientifically, in theory, we can expect a 9.0 quake to happen. I don't think that 7 was it at all. I think we're still going to see a 9.0 quake. The question is where and when. Okay, so as far as that timeline, we're getting close to the unknown region. Okay, unexplored territory. Now, what is causing it? Well, this is where you start going down the rabbit hole, and where you have to do your own research and decide what you believe. And it's very possible that it could be a combination of things that you find that might result in why we are seeing this pattern. Okay? So some will blow it off as bullshit, and that's fine. I get it. But as far as predicting, not manipulative predicting, but scientifically trying to prove in the future that we are going to see a big 9.0. So I've tried in the past, but I haven't gotten great returns, so I figured I would try to show it and explain it a little bit better. Hopefully you get it and understand, and maybe this is part of all this lockdown and destruction of everybody's life and society and whatnot, because we have seen this region pick up a lot with bigger quakes, and we have had some big quakes here and whatnot. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but with what I've shown you, hopefully you do take an interest in researching more and deciding for yourself what you believe is going to happen. And if anything else, if it does, hopefully this helps you mentally prepare more for it. So anyways, that's it, and thank you.